All right, so what's new, guys?
My butt's been very clean.
You don't say.
Bought a bidet.
Ooh.
A bidet.
A belated bidet present?
For mine and Kay's butts. Yes.
When did
Great present. It's the Neo 120.
like when
Man.
did you even know the brand?
Man.
When did bidets start getting like super popular in America? Like they've been in Europe for eons, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
they've just
it's been in
like,
Europe and Asia. We're so far behind, so y'all got to get on that bidet game. Clean butts.
I'll talk to my super.
What inspired you to go get a squeaky clean hind section?
Just by using it, and because like when you think of bidet, you think of like something like so fancy, something so expensive, but then like she just went on Amazon. Kay went on Amazon, saw this bidet for $30. Literally took like 2 minutes to install, and now, dude.
So then,
clean.
what's the process? Do you mop and then sweep, or do you sweep and then mop and then sweep?
Dealer's choice usually, but I like to sweep and then mop. Wait, I think I like to mop and then sweep. And then depending on how that sweep is,
You'll mop again.
will another mop followed by a sweep. It always has to be followed by a sweep. Can't walk out with wet bum bum.
So okay, I know, and I only know this because of Achievement Hunter, but it's heated, right? Like the water that comes out is heated.
Unfortunately, no.
Ooh.
I think that's where the more expensive bidets come from.
You know what?
It's a sharp stream of cold water, but I'll take that over a dirty doo-doo butt.
So every time you go to, when you're summing up the process, you see God for a little bit and then come back down to earth.
A little bit.
That sounds
A little bit.
You know what? Honestly, if it was warm water, that's one thing. But cold water, I don't know if I could take that sudden injection, especially like you wake up, you're groggy, you take a number 2, you switch over to the bidet, and then you just like it's like a coffee enema like shoots into you. It's like I don't know if I could do that.
You don't need caffeine anymore. All you're telling me is good things.
See, with that though, like I really don't know what my personal preference would be, because like if it's cold water, I think in my mind it's like, okay, it's cold water, it's fresh, it's coming from like a nice clean source. But if it's warm water, is that going to emulate the experience of someone peeing on my butt?
Exactly. And then
to each their own, like not kink shaming.
To each their own.
Just don't know if that would be more jarring.
Is that how you feel when you take showers? That someone's just peeing all over you?
I feel like we're getting into a little bit of personal territory right now. So I'm going to
always personal
back
with
away from that super fast.
But my life has changed.
I'm happy to hear that. We're all about self-improvement on the Neat Boys podcast.
Less toilet paper use.
True, good for the environment. Kind of, I think.
Happy life. That's all you need in life.
Hygiene is the theme.
And kink shaming.
And kink shaming. We're back to kink shaming this year.
Yeah. 2020 we had to be complacent, but now they're all freaks and I hate them.
Yeah, we need to start filtering things down again.
We need missionary and only missionary.
A religious movement of sorts.
If you're down for butt stuff, bidet is also good for that.
Jesus Christ.
You heard it here. Matt approves of butt stuff.
You couldn't see, but I'm doing a okay symbol for butt stuff.
Hello again. It's us, your boys, that like their drinks neat, but I think we're changing our branding to having neat butts. Squeaky clean butts. With me, your host, Rob, and my co-host joining me, Squeaky Clean Matt.
Squeaky clean butt, asterisk.
And Sweep Only Braxton.
I don't have a bidet, so I'm sweeping like the rest of us out here. Call me fucking Mary Poppins. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo, baby.
I immediately regret that intro for Braxton.
So what's up, y'all?
We are approaching our 3-year Podiversary cast.
It's actually kind of wild to think about. I probably said this when it was the 2-year anniversary too. Like, it doesn't feel like we've done it this long, but then I look at the number of episodes and it's like, god damn, we've really been doing this.
We have.
And we're on pace, one a month. If this is episode 36.
Yeah, I guess we started in April, yeah.
Yes, sir. 421, baby.
Nice.
420.
Oh, that's why oh, okay. That explains okay.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. I'm glad you knew where I was going with that.
Oh, what else is new?
Well, Squeaky Clean Butt over here is going to nursing school.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that.
Boom, boom,
Big
boom,
moves.
Boom, boom. Big moves.
Making that doctor money. I
so
feel
I can
you.
tell everyone how to clean their butts.
Are you sure you're not just doing it so you get an early access to the vaccine?
Well, I already have the vaccine.
Oh, see,
so.
that's what as soon as he spoke it into existence, he got the vaccine. That's how it works.
And it was all right, you know. Just had a little fever, a little tired.
Oh, you got your second one already.
No, I'm getting the second one. They said I had such an extreme reaction to the first one because I had COVID. And by they,
that's
I mean,
right, you did,
friends that are docs and stuff like that. So they said that's why I felt so crappy. So I'm hoping the second vaccine, which I take next week, it's just a breeze.
That's a weird situation. I haven't heard of that before. I would make sure that you're compounding your confirmation bias with the experts on YouTube and like 4chan and stuff, because I don't know
Facebook.
if exactly, like doctors are just they'll say anything for $1 now. Oh, hold on, gotta close my door. I thought that was the neighbor. That's my son.
So basically, everyone's got their first shot except me. That's what it sounds like.
Well, I know Illinois is having a little issue getting it out to people as fast, because I know Wisconsin's moving pretty fast. I'm not sure about Cali, because Rob, you said Rob got his first as well.
Well, I don't know if he did or not, but I know I've just been skipping on wait lists here and there, and I know my mom's been trying to hook me up as well because she's had both of hers. But yeah, I have not taken my first or second, so.
You guys talking shit about me?
Well, we didn't know if you'd
Did
gotten
you take
the
it?
vaccine or not.
No. Like I said before, the whole vaccination process is pretty ableist, and like I'm last on that tier. I've just never felt so much discrimination as an able-bodied person before, and it's kind of outrageous. So I don't get mine open until I think they open it up to like 16 and older in California on the 14th of April.
Oh, so it's coming up.
Oh, that's now, basically.
Well, it's still a ways away. You don't know what it's like to have withdrawals from not being able to lick elevator buttons for like over a year.
Well, just get a bidet. That'll help everything.
Just bring it in the elevator.
It's the end all be all.
How would that work? Do I just like insert the plumbing into a water bottle and
there are actually
squirt away?
Mobile bidets? Now
What?
that you mention it.
Mobile, literally.
I didn't purchase it.
I mean, at that point, you just pull your pants down, take a water bottle, squeeze real hard, and then just mop up whatever you can.
That's essentially what it is.
Okay, yeah.
A waste of money.
Yeah, why wouldn't I just go get like a super soaker and, you know, just haul it to the public bathrooms and whatnot?
True.
That might work. You can get your lukewarm water, so you don't have to deal with the cold water.
True.
I don't know where to move on from there.
Well.
All right, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thanks, guys.
Go get a bidet and have a nice life. I don't know how to segue this. And on the topic of losing our train of thought, let's get into patch notes to talk Astral Chain.
Nailed it. 10 out of 10. Stuck the landing. Kids are crying. Flowers
Chain
everywhere.
and train, they rhyme here and there. So you dusted it off your Nintendo library, Braxton. Been holding on to it for God knows how long. Let's yank your chain a little bit about Astral Chain.
You know what? I really need to sort my thoughts about how I feel about Astral Chain, because when you start the game, like, you don't really know what the fuck is going on, and the controls are like wonky, but you're just like, okay, I get to make my own anime man and or woman, and you're like, you know, you get to customize it and all that stuff, and it's fun. But then when the actual gameplay starts, it's like, oh wow, this is like really complex. This is pretty cool, very complicated. But long story short, the story so far, because I'm not that far in the game, is that you're a police officer, and the police, well, I guess technically the police officer, and you're a owner of a legion, which is like a monster from a different dimension that they tame and have on staff as like your partner. And so essentially yes, it's a stand, but it's a stand on a chain, and that changes everything. Basically you have the power of legions. And so I have 2 legions right now, a sword legion and a bow legion. So basically your combat, like your physical combat, is with the R button, which is the weirdest configuration ever. Like, all your attacks are with R instead of like X or Y or anything like that. And then your legion controls are with L. So like when you press L, you summon your legion. But then if you hold L, you can move your legion around, because you can do like chain attacks. Like if an enemy dashes at you and the chain is between you and the dash, then you guys like do it's like a wrestling move. It's like they hit the chain and then they bounce off and like fly into the air or some shit like that. Or you can like rotate your legion around an enemy, and the chain like ties around them and like ties them down to the ground, and then you can like beat them up. So
do you control your main protag, and then you have separate control for the legion as well?
Yeah, so you control the main protag. So you have 3 weapons, a baton, your baton transforms. So you have like a baton, it can transform into a gun, and it can transform into a big baton for like heavy monsters. So you have light, heavy, and ranged attacks. So you control all that with like the R button and all that. And then when you summon your legion, which is L, the legion will auto attack and do its shit, but like the legion has other attacks and movement options that you can do that you can control. So like if I'm using the sword legion and I'm doing a combo, like one of the first upgrades you get is that while you're doing a combo without the legion, at the end of your combo, a light will flash on your character, and if you press the legion button when that light flashes, then you do a double combo attack. And so you guys can keep doing the combo together as long as you time your presses together. But like if the legion's out and about and he's doing, you know, his regular attacks, you can like use the chain to zip over to him and like double up on whatever enemy he's attacking. Or you can bring him close to you, so you can do like very specific strikes. And the same with the Bow Legion. Like the Bow Legion will do whatever it wants to do, but like if you bring it close to them, then you get like to zoom in and like snipe areas that you want to do, or do like other stuff like that. So it's very cool, and it doesn't make sense at first. So the best part of the game is the training arena that I love, because every time I stop playing the game, I forget how to play it. So when you're in the training mode, you can like open up, you can have like enemies, just random enemies in an open sandbox space. So you can just go ahead and try out your legions, try out attack patterns, try out combos and stuff like that. Because the whole game is like combo based. So it's kind of like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, where after you're done with an area, it'll give you a grade depending on how you did. So like the more like abilities that you use and the more creativity that you incorporate in like your combos and your missions and stuff like that, the higher your score is going to be, and then the better reward you're going to get. And then you can just upgrade your legions after you're done with missions. So like you get points and stuff, and then you can upgrade their attack or defense, or like the abilities they have. So like one of the first abilities I got for my sword legion was like when I trigger I trigger the ability and he has swords rotating around him like Virgil from Devil May Cry. So like when he's sitting next to an enemy, it does more damage to them and he's slashing them. So it's pretty cool. I think there's 3 more legions that I need to unlock, but it's very creative. Obviously it's a Switch, so graphically, if it gets a little crazy, some things don't look great, but using the chain from a combat perspective and a platforming perspective is actually really cool, because there's a lot of places that you can use your chain to, like there's times where you need to have your legion go across like a broken bridge or something like that, and then once they're there, you can use the chain to like zip over to him and surpass gaps and stuff like that. Or if you need to round a corner and there's like you can't see the other side, you can have your legion go around the corner, like lock the chain into place on the diagonal, and then just zip across it and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's just a lot of geometry and a lot of combat and a lot of fun.
So when this game first came out, I heard there was a little like awkwardness with how legions were attained, because they're essentially like tortured Pokemon you eventually bring into submission to serving you.
Yeah, so literally when you start the game, the first cutscene is the view of how a legion is created. So basically there's this another dimension where all these monsters like kind of exist. And so basically they pull these monsters from that dimension, trap them, and then like use their technology to basically enslave them to be your partner. And so incredible. Like the main part of the game is that it's you and like 4 other people who have legions, and you're fighting, and then like a disturbance in the force happens and all the legions break free. So you and all your party members have to fight your legions to get them back into control, and that's how you get your first legion. And so you have the power to bend the other legions to your will and force them back under your control. So yeah, it is Pokemon, but with extra steps. But there's only 5 Pokemon. So
you can in fact catch them all.
Yeah, you can catch them all
after making them submit.
Oh yeah, you literally have to fight them, which is really funny. Like just in the context of the game, just seeing all these humans with like batons, like fighting like a giant like legion with a sword, or like a giant like wolf type legion that's like bouncing all around and like crawling and shit like that. It's really funny, but it's good. I like it.
How anime does it get?
Like I'm not really invested in the story. I don't really care, but that's pretty anime, I guess. Like you and your brother, like whatever player character you pick, the girl or the boy, are adopted from the police chief or one of the police officers, and then at the beginning of the game, your police officer dad gets trapped in the other dimension, and then you guys are like, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah, we gotta save him. So that's about it.
All right, dope. And after that long patch notes section, let's.
One more thing. We talked about Pokemon, and it made me think about.
Oh God, are we checking in on Rob's obsession?
No, I was doing some spring cleaning, found my old Game Boy Color.
Oh shit!
Do you guys remember when I messaged you about something about Pokemon? I don't even know, but I ended up beating it, and like for the first time, I found Pokemon Red, so I was like, you know what? I've never caught all the legendary birds, never caught Mewtwo. Might as well go give it a go. And
damn.
Lo and behold, caught all the legendary birds. As frustrating as it was, and then caught Mewtwo. Like, I found that wasting money on Ultra Balls is not worth it when you can catch them with a Pokeball. The legendary ones. Pissed me off so much.
Well, no wonder it pissed you off, because you were using the fucking shitty-ass balls.
Dude. Oh, well, I was using Ultra Balls at first.
You know what's funny?
Let me get this.
I'm making fun of you, but, like, when I was younger and I was playing, like, Red and Crystal, like, there was some like big legendary Pokemon where I was like, you know what, I think the Great Ball is better than the Ultra Ball. I'm gonna use more Great Balls.
Man, I would get to some of the legendaries and like not be prepared whatsoever. I would have like if we're talking gold and silver, I would have like a couple net balls and like lure balls and stuff like that, because I would run out of all my ultras, and then it would get to the point where none of them were getting caught, so they would start like struggling and killing themselves. And I don't know how many times I scum saved until like one of those shitty balls worked. Like
I know
Groudon with like a net ball.
It's so frustrating because I think for Zapdos that was the hardest one. I thought, like, I wasted like probably 20 Ultra Balls on it because I didn't have any Pokemon that could sing or freeze. I only had like the ability to paralyze with Body Slam. I would just have like my Lapras Body Slam them over and over again until they finally got paralyzed. But obviously Mewtwo was easy as long as you save the Master Ball. But damn, I love the banter in all Pokemon games. Like all the dialogue, like, "Hey, you're a kid," and then battle ensues, or just like, or like I think her name is the last character. She was always like, "Ooh, you're cute," or "I'm looking for my mushroom Pokemon," something like that. I'm just like, this is very suggestive.
Oh, you know, I never got that.
The worst was like Crystal and them, because like when all the dogs were out, like A, they would be random, but B, as soon as you found one dog, you literally had one turn to do anything, and then they'd run away all the time. And so like when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, I was like, I think they put on, I think their locations were on the map. So like every time you flew somewhere, you could just double check the map and see if like Raikou or Entei or any of them were going to be there. And then as soon as you knew they were going to be there, you save immediately, and then you just go around the grass and see if you could find them or whatever. But
you were able to do that in the Game Boy versions.
I honestly don't remember. Like the only thing I remember off the Game Boy versions, because I didn't catch any of the legendaries when I was a kid playing Crystal for the first time. I think the only thing I did was one of my friends taught me the Master Ball glitch, duplication glitch, and I was able to do it once. I could only duplicate one Master Ball, so I had two Master Balls, but I don't think I used them. I was just like, I was trying to get more, but I couldn't. But I was able to duplicate at least one Master Ball, and that was kind of the pride of my Crystal days.
I miss the old storage system glitches, because that's how I duplicated the Master Balls by making Raikou hold it.
Yeah.
And then when you're depositing it, you shut that shit off.
Oh yeah, immediately.
after the second period of the saving screen, and then you get 2 Raikous and 2 Master Balls, and you feel like you're the fucking boss of the world.
I think I did it with my Ghastly. I literally like had my Ghastly hold it, and then it's like I didn't even turn the game off. I literally just pulled the game out of my Game Boy. I was just like, I need this to work. It's like, he was like, please do not turn off the power. All right, I won't. Slip.
Yeah, that's real
Those
pro gamer
glitches
shit.
are crazy. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it only
Apparently
worked
you can
once.
catch Mew. You can catch Mew in the red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah, see,
somehow.
I never did that. Like, I knew, like, I think I heard about it, like, after the fact that Mewtwo was even in the game. Because, like, I was just happy to beat... I was stuck in, like, the caves before Cerulean City when I was a kid. So, just getting out of that cave for me was like, I beat the game. Like, I made it to Cerulean City, I beat the game.
Those caves were ridiculous.
Yeah.
I still have PTSD from trying to get through the Mount Moon cave, and I still hear it ringing in my head today, the battle music in fucking Zubat.
I think that might have been the cave that I didn't get out of, because Mount Moon connects to Cerulean, right?
Yeah, and it's long as fuck.
Yeah, that's
as a
don't
kid,
really
I'm
have the
just like,
funds.
I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Like, I remember.
And then to top it all off, fucking Gary comes out at the end and is like,
"Oh my gosh!
Hey, you want a battle? Even though all your Pokemon are fucking dead."
And then you go all the way back to the beginning of the cave.
Yeah, because I remember my dad came home from work. He was like, "Hey guys, how was your day?" And I was like, "Dad, I made it to Cerulean City." I was so excited. Like, it was a big deal for me. God, that was my first Game Boy Color game too. That was, God, take me back, bro.
The Lieutenant Surge gym was not fun either, because like I didn't understand how random mechanics worked back then. So I feel like I just kept checking the same fucking garbages over and over again, thinking that I checked every single one of them.
Oh man, that's funny. But all the assholes had Pokemon Yellow, and they would brag to you about how cool Pikachu was behind you.
Ugh. Pikachu's the worst lightning Pokemon.
Honestly, he is overrated. I don't know, that might be a hot take. Electrode. I don't know. Electrode? What? No, that's not better than Pikachu.
I just like that he can self-destruct. Like, you know. Who's that guy from Dragon Ball Z? Chaozu. It's my Chaozu. He's like pretty worthless, but then all of a sudden he'll self-destruct you. Who did I beat? The Elite Four. I beat the Elite Four with the 3 legendary birds.
Oh, you're one of those.
King. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, because I was like, I might as well. I have all of them.
You were asking us which one was better. You were asking if Nido King or Nido Queen was better.
Oh yeah, so I stuck with King. Just because I could teach him ground moves. And then who else? I think Vaporeon and my original Charizard. Who I think Charizard is pretty trash.
God, I wish I remembered what my first original starting party was. I know I picked a grass starter. I know I had Venusaur at level like 100, but I don't remember what the rest of my team was.
And then once I got Mewtwo, I tried. It was a lot harder going through the Elite Four the second time around. I think it's because I used all my ethers, and that was definitely helpful against the Elite Four.
Dude, the Elite Four in the first game is actually hard as fuck. Dude, because I think up until that point, all the gyms progress with you level wise pretty fairly from like a pacing standpoint. Then you hit the Elite Four, and some have level like 60s. Level 70, level 60s, level 70s, while you're still like on basically 40s and 50s. I
mean, yeah, but then you hit Red and Gold and Silver and Crystal, and his Pikachu is literally like what, level 70 off the rip, a level 70 Pikachu. I mean, he could literally clear through your whole party with just that Pikachu. Like, you make it through Mount Silver and all the enemies are like, oh yeah, level 55 here, level 60 here, and then like Pikachu's out here like level 70, 75, just smacks you immediately.
Oh yeah, I miss that magic in Pokemon. You need to go get, I think you could still get Mew. I don't know if that was like, I think you might have had to go to like a Toys R Us event to do it, but I think that you can enter this place called like the Secret Garden and then catch him there.
There's also a glitch, like, I forgot, I think it's before you go to either, what's the city where you can gamble? Do you guys remember, like Celadon or something like that?
Yeah, Celadon. It is Celadon. Yeah.
So like, there's this one guy like right before one of the guard stations. Like you have to like glitch it, but then it's like a risky glitch because it could like destroy your whole game. Because like Mew is stored in the system because like they did have that Toys R Us event, and like you have to like glitch it like before you fight him, exit it, but then like have all your Pokemon fainted or something. It's like weird. It's like hard as hell. So I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna beat the game, get my legendary birds, and I don't want the game to break. Like, I don't want to pay for another Pokemon Red.
Hey, when we were younger, like that was like, if he dies, he dies. I just want that Master Ball, bro. Like,
if you have Red, you should definitely go try to catch a Missing No too.
Who?
Missing No, the glitched out Pokemon. It's literally like
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look how to find.
I think it's in the, isn't it in the city where Lieutenant Surge is, like by the water?
No, it's like you have to hit a pixel while you're surfing around like the Cinnabar Islands, I think.
Oh, I thought it was in grass, but I mean, I've never even seen it outside of a YouTube video. So, doesn't it break your game?
Last thing, I didn't know that Ditto was basically Mew. I heard like Ditto and Mewtwo are clones of Mew, and that Ditto was a, I guess, successful clone of Mew, because I guess Mew has the ability to do anything of all Pokemons. That's why he's so powerful. So that's why Ditto is Mew. I don't know. I'll leave it at that.
That's
Fun
some
facts.
Pokemon lore that I did not know about.
I mean, yeah.
Me neither. So maybe I'll just catch a Ditto. I'll say it's Mew.
Don't think it works that way.
I'll catch a Ditto and then name it Mew. There
you go.
Man, yeah, some of those back models, or the back model view of the original Pokemon games, they look really fucking weird. So
they suck.
Might be able to pull that off, actually.
Yeah, I think Ho-Oh has like one of the worst. Ho-Oh has like it's. I think it's just his head and like a little bit of wing. It's just. And I only know that because I was playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and it was just like, oh man, Ho-Oh, nice! I get to catch it, and then I threw it out in a battle. I was like, oh, this is it?
The heck is this?
It's fucking lame, dude. This sucks.
Oh. All right, Matt. Take us away into Cine Matthew.
All right, here we go. Cine Matthew. Let's talk about Eric Andre's new movie on Netflix, Bad Trip.
I need to watch that. Fuck. I heard he almost got
hilarious.
Did he almost get not just arrested, but I think someone almost like tried to beat his ass.
I'm not surprised with any of the skits that he does because they're so over the top, and I love it. It was kind of like, you know how Borat is, where it's like there's a script, but there's also like real life interactions as well.
Yeah.
But just like in classic Eric Andre form, it's just like crazy over the top, and just like I thought it was funny. Rob, what did you think about it?
They always garner reactions in a way, they being Eric Andre, they garner like reactions better than any other like prank TV or movie that I've seen, like in my opinion, just because it's not for Eric Andre, it's not really about the prank itself as much as it is capturing the reactions that they want to get. And like the way he put it is like his pranks are only good if they undress like the humanity behind people and like reveal those layers. And that's what I love about it, because they it felt like they kind of took a very Nathan for you approach for a lot of these pranks. Like in a what's that ABC show, John Quinones, like What Would You Do style. And some of those people are just like, I don't know how they like had the confidence that they would have the kind of reaction they did, but it all came out like super well planned out. The one that I like in particular is what was it? The very first scene where he's like doing detailing on cars and he gets his clothes sucked off. That dude was really cool and like cooperated really well. But I also like where were they? Like a line dance bar or whatever. And Eric Andre like falls off of the top of like the bar overhang onto this like wooden display, and everyone is just like, what the fuck, who are these people? Because it's just like two black men in the middle of this like, I don't know, like Deep Woods, Georgia line dance bar. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my god, he's had too much to drink, like I can't believe this. And then one girl comes out and she's like, hold on, I'm a nurse. We need to make sure you're okay and like not concussed right now.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was. And then at that same moment, he starts throwing up everywhere.
Just projectile. Like, Scary Movie 2.
She comments on it too. She comes back and she's like, okay, hold on. Because if you're throwing up that much, we might need to get an ambulance. Because like, it's just such a ridiculous amount of vomit for like 5 straight seconds. Like, blasting everywhere. And then, like, the second she tries to sit him down to like calm him down and possibly get in the ambulance, they set the puke machine off again in his sweater, and it's even more vomit, like splattering everywhere.
Oh, yep, that sounds like Eric Andre. All right, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
The story though, like I don't know, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest story. It's just a vehicle for the pranks. I get that.
Yeah,
and some of the pranks I wish they. Because you know how, like, in the Eric Andre show, they kind of rerun the pranks back over and over to get different people's reactions? In this, it's all just, like, they'll do multiple takes depending on the reactions they get, but they pick the one that, like, gets the best. And I think his pranks succeed the most when they can get an entire plethora of different reactions. So it was kind of missing out on that fact, but... It was still, I still enjoyed it a lot.
It was like a Eric Andre greatest hits kind of, because like they probably took the best. Oh my gosh, like some of those reactions, like I don't know how they could have thought that would have happened for some of them, like someone trying to break up the fight. If you remember what I'm talking about, Rob, when like the car flips over and
that dude was fighting. Awesome.
Or just like when, like at the end when they have like different people with the megaphone praying, because Kay hates Eric Andre. She doesn't like that style of humor, but like I just put it on, and like she was just dying laughing the whole time. So like it is over the top, but like I feel like it translates into other audiences than the typical like Eric Andre. Just like you're there for how just like outlandish everything is.
It's outlandish, but I feel like it's watered down in order to appeal to like the masses, because it's more comparable to Jackass than it is Eric Andre, because they're not doing like any surrealist kind of shit except maybe the grocery store. But it's more so trying to frame it in like situations that potentially could happen if people are like crazy and exposed to the masses. Whereas like Eric Andre, you have him dress up as a centaur giving away Fruit Loops on the subway. You know? It's still like my favorite scene where where he goes on the subway and he's dressed up in like that skin tight black suit with like Fruit Loops pasted all over him. And what does he say? He's like, Kellogg's would not accept my job application. So today I offer my body as communion to all of you New York subway citizens. Please eat from my body. And pours the Fruit Loops and milk into like a dog cone that he's wearing and goes around to everyone. So nothing like that, gosh. But yeah, it was still pretty good.
Like, definitely worth the watch. It's also got Lil Rel in it and Tiffany Haddish, and their characters are hilarious as well. Like, they all kill it. So if you haven't watched it yet, I would definitely give it a check it out. Just check it out. It's on Netflix.
Ever since Get Out, Lil Rel's has been everywhere, huh?
He has. I've seen him in a bunch of movies.
Good for him.
This movie, more than like displaying Eric Andre's creativity, I think it really showed his range too as an actor, because like his acting was pretty on point like the whole time.
Yeah, I watched what was that show? What's it called? Is that show about like looking for ex-girlfriend or looking for boyfriend or shoot. I'm gonna forget the name of that show, but Eric Andre is in it, and you know he's like kind of a normal dude. Like he can act, like he acts like a normal actual person. So like I've seen.
Wait,
that
is
before.
that the fucking LeBron and Amy Schumer movie?
No, gross. It's not a movie.
No.
It's I don't remember. Just come. I'll shout it out when we move on to the next topic. Just so
wait, a TV show where he's acting?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, where he's just like a normal guy.
Is it the one where it's called like That Bitch in Apartment 407 or whatever?
Nope.
All right. Well, I'm out of ideas. So.
All right. So we'll move on. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I haven't caught up on it yet, but so far, Rob, how's the show going? Or how far have you gotten into it?
Man seeking woman.
But back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. As of today, I am like one episode behind. So what is that, like I've seen episodes 1 and 2. Fucking fantastic show. Like, had me gripped 5 minutes into it already, more than like WandaVision has. And like I enjoyed WandaVision. I just don't think that it was my kind of pacing that I look for in a show. And it was a little bit more lighthearted in the beginning. This, like, out of the gates is pretty dramatic and like dealing with kind of like the internal perspective of Falcon and Bucky. I forgot Falcon's name in the Marvel Universe, so I will here on refer to him as Anthony Mackie, the man who smiles like he has shit on you. Like, they just bring up a lot of cool themes that a lot of superhero stuff doesn't really do, like how Anthony Mackie is struggling to support his family because like the superhero gig doesn't really pay, and he explains like, I only get benefits where people deem it like necessary to provide me like some sort of charity and stuff like that. Like, I don't go looking out for a paycheck. And I thought that was a really cool aspect because, like, yeah, how do if you're not fucking Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne, how are you supporting yourself? Like,
yeah,
where does the money come from? And then all the therapy scenes with Bucky are amazing. Like, that was probably my favorite scene so far, where he's just talking to the therapist and like going over the traumas of what it's like being manipulated and stuff like that. And I thought they did a really good job with depicting that. And then just the chemistry between the two is also amazing. Like, they play off each other so well in like a whimsical way. Like when when you like kick your little brother and like he kicks you back kind of thing. Except Bucky is like 107 years old or something like that. So it's like an old man getting in like arguments with Anthony Mackie. Yeah, it's been awesome so far, and I really don't know where this is gonna go. I really hate the new Captain America. There's something about him that isn't sitting well with me, and it's going pretty much judging off his looks because he's not the big heartthrob that Chris Evans is. But that's a personal thing that I have to deal with.
Have you actually seen his face yet? The new Captain America, or is he always just like in the suit when he's shown?
No, so in episode 2, they like go into his background of like how he was selected as the new Captain America and his credentials of what got him there.
Oh wait, I thought the Falcon was Captain America.
It gets into that.
Yeah.
Man, they don't let black people have nothing.
It gets into that. There was a scene in episode 2 that I thought it was going to be so fucking on the nose about just like, hey, yeah, we're Disney. We're woke as fuck. Because they're like in, I guess they're depicting it as like kind of a more rundown like neighborhood. And then the cops pull up as Bucky and Anthony Mackie are like walking down the street. And like Anthony Mackie was like, why didn't you tell me that this person existed? And Bucky was like, I didn't feel like it was my responsibility to notify like the Avengers of this person. And while they're arguing at it, a cop car pulls up and they're like, sir, are you okay? Is this man disturbing you? To Bucky. And
oh my God.
And they go up to Anthony Mackie and they're like, can we please see some ID? Anthony Mackie's like, come on, I think you've seen me before. Like, you're really gonna ask me for my ID right now? I haven't done anything wrong. And I was just like, oh God, okay, what are they gonna do with this? And they did a good job like reincorporating it back in the story without making it like a whole racial lesson that felt out of place.
Racism is bad.
Pretty much. Thought I was going down that street. But they swerved at like the last second and were able to incorporate into the plot a little bit more.
For sure. I just love the production for these shows so far. But yeah, with WandaVision, I feel like you could have subtracted the first couple episodes and like that would take nothing away from it. But I do like the pacing already, like the end of the first episode, like that big reveal. And then I'm just curious to see where it goes. Because we haven't really gone into Anthony Mackie's Falcon. I forgot his name too, so I'm gonna call him Anthony Mackie. We haven't really gone into his backstory, and like the fact that he has like a sister and just like a whole family.
When did the Falcon make an appearance? What was his first movie? Was it Ant-Man? No, it wasn't Ant-Man.
No, I think it was.
Was it Civil War?
Soldier.
Oh, Winter Soldier. Yeah,
the one movie I have not seen that everyone raves about. Damn.
One of the better ones.
That's what everyone says.
MCU. But yeah, we haven't really gone into his backstory a whole lot. Other than that, like, he's the Falcon. So it's cool to see that backstory. And also seeing that... Did we know that when Bucky was being manipulated or brainwashed, did we know that he was just, like, fully conscious of it, too? There was just nothing he could do about it? Did we know about that before the show?
Yeah, I mean, he was a sleeper agent, so like they just said the code and he would have to listen to everything. Or are you talking about like was he cognizant of his actions while he was being brainwashed?
No, because like he is cognizant of his actions.
Yeah, I don't know if they how in depth they get into that. From my interpretation, I thought it would just come up in flashbacks when he was like dreaming about him doing everything that Hydra told him to. Like, I don't know if... No, he doesn't remember. Because in the movies prior, he always, like, asks Cap, hey, what just happened again? Did I do some shit again? Kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
So I think it comes back in the form of, like, PTSD.
Okay.
because they're uncompartmentalizing all his like trauma and stuff. And I think that's why he went to Wakanda, so they could fix his brain. Oh, they had that one part where they're like, oh man, like all that time in Wakanda, you think you're the White Panther now or something like that. And he was like, no, it's White Wolf, okay? Like, okay. I like that.
Oh man. Yeah, so Disney just pumping out the MCU teleseries. Really dope so far. Can't wait for Loki. That's what I'm super excited for, because I have no idea how that's gonna go.
I feel like Loki's gonna be like what was that show? Umbrella Academy, with like the time cop aspect. I feel like he's gonna be some sort of time cop.
I can see, because it's the Loki that just tried to take over New York, so he's still a bad guy.
Yeah.
Duh.
So we'll see when that comes. He's a bad boy. Speaking of bad boys, let's move on to the Justice League. We all watched it, right? The 4-hour unedited version.
Oh yeah.
So what were our initial thoughts?
If you want to skip the spoilers, timestamp will be available in the description. You've been warned.
3, 2, 1, spoiler time. I have not watched a single DC movie in this lore except for Suicide Squad, which isn't even in this lore because they're doing another Suicide Squad apparently. So when I started the movie, I learned apparently Superman died. I didn't know that. That was weird. So I was like, oh, I guess we're doing this without Superman. And then the story was like, all right, this big bad dude with really cool armor. I really like his armor. Was like,
in the remake.
Yes, in the remake. His armor looks very cool. And he was like, oh, I got to come down here and get the 3 legendary GameCubes because when I morph them together, I can play Melee at 60 frames per second and destroy the world.
Refer to them by their proper name. The mommy boxes, damn it.
The mommy box. Mother's box.
The mommy box, yes. So you get the 3 mommy GameCubes together. You can play Melee at 120 frames per second and take over the world. And so apparently there were the 3 boxes. So Atlantis had one box. The Amazonians had another box. And then Cyborg was just like, I'm built different. And he's just going to hold on to his own box. Because he's
like, I'm just going to put this away in storage.
Cyborg is a Game Boy.
He is a gamer, so he gets to hold the Game Boy.
Let me try to reformat this a little bit. Let's talk about what we liked about it first.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the critiques later. But you can continue on with the plot. That's fine.
I was going to talk about what I didn't like about it, and it was like the one big thing I really didn't like about it. I don't like...
No. Let's talk about the good stuff first before we delve into the many things that were wrong with it.
Okay, so I actually don't have any context from the original cut because I never watched it. So did either of you guys watch the original? Okay, good.
I've seen like reviews on it here and there, and it looks like a theatrical mess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for a 4-hour movie, I thought the pacing was good. I followed it pretty well for someone who doesn't follow DC at all. So I thought it was a very, I was invested in it. Some of the CGI was a little but obviously the movie's older, so it's understandable. The fights were pretty cool. The bad guy's motivation is meh, but he's cool. His abilities, I don't really know what his abilities are besides being big and having an axe and, being able to basically beat everyone except Superman. And then, they're really setting up for this like Darkseid invasion kind of thing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints. It's just weird seeing what's his face as Superman after I was watching his ass be the Witcher for like a couple episodes. So that's an interesting. Like every time I see him, I just think of Dennis from Always Sunny when I look at his face as Superman. Like that's I can't remove that from my visuals whenever I see him as Superman. But yeah, those are my thoughts and positives on the movie. So you guys could give yours. if you want.
I did like how the tone of the movie was, how it's like darker themed, because like everything is just like, I feel like it was more in that realm of like, you know, how 300 was, those 300 movies, like the way that it was filmed and like the way that it progressed. So I like that aspect of it.
You're talking darker from like a cinematography aspect of it?
Yeah, from a cinematography aspect.
Not thematically.
I felt like... Yeah. Because
I hated that about it.
I like that part about it. I like that with the pacing, like it helped give a little bit of an origin story for all of them, except for like, I guess the Flash didn't really have a origin story. He kind of was just like thrown in there.
I hated
the fights were, yeah.
Bro, you were the one who told me not to go with the dislikes, and you're just throwing them out here left and right. Like, what is this?
I'm just making a note, say like I'm going to bring this stuff back up as to why it wasn't my favorite.
I'm out here trying my
origin
hardest.
Stuff only for a couple.
Me and Matt are out here trying our hardest to be positive, and you're just shitting all over it.
I do like that they kind of separated from the whole, like how Marvel was, because I feel like with the MCU, like very as realistic as they could be, but then with this one, obviously like a lot more fantasy was involved, like with the Amazonians and Atlanteans. So like I think they did a good job of separating themselves from just making like a carbon copy, even though like it's kind of like looking almost like a carbon copy of the MCU in terms of what they're building up to.
A carbon copy with like a dark gritty filter over it.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, the fight scenes were cool. I love watching, because I have seen the other Superman movies in this. I've seen, I forgot what it was called, probably Superman, or Man of Steel, I think, and Batman versus Superman. So I did like the fight scenes, and I think they kept it going along with the Justice League.
Is that when Superman died?
Batman vs. Superman.
Okay. Like, because like literally the beginning of the movie was just like, he was going like Super Saiyan, and then like the next cut was like, oh, this is Superman's funeral. Welcome to, you know, his death. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
So it was basically like, you know, just like a superhero passion of the Superman. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for the likes about the movie.
Rob, what did you like about the Justice League?
This won't take long. I like the way that they depicted Aquaman in this movie. So as opposed to his usual one-liners and quips from the original, he has a little bit more two-liners and
nice.
He's a little bit more charismatic. The fight choreography in this is way better than the original from the clips that I've seen. Like, they really deleted these from the original cut thinking they were better. And I asked myself, why the fuck would they do that when if this was the original, why did they pick this one? Well, the person that originally directed or put it together was Joss Whedon, which explains everything, because he's just he's just a rotten testicle of a man, right? And that pretty much describes why the original Justice League is so bad. But we're on the positives. So I really liked the chemistry. That Flash had with the different heroes, especially Aquaman, for one. I liked Barry Allen speaking to Bruce Wayne, not Flash talking to Batman. It felt like there was a true kind of like mentorship they were trying to develop there, similar to like Iron Man and Spider-Man. And finally, the ending scene, I was like wondering, how in the hell are they going to incorporate the rest of the Justice League if they left it off at like there's still a lot that needs to be done. We still got like Darkseid coming, and even before the movie was over, I like looked over at Tin and was just like, I really hope they find a way to incorporate Martian Manhunter into this. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do it or how they're gonna design him. And then he fucking shows up on the doorstep of Bruce Wayne's like little lake house, and I was geeking out super hardcore because I think Martian Manhunter is probably one of my favorites from the original Cartoon Network Justice League.
Well, you saw him earlier in the movie, right?
Yeah, he's earlier in. There's the
scene where he talked to Lois Lane.
Yeah.
When?
It was like
when Martha Kent went over to talk to Lois Lane.
Yep.
She's like, "We still need you," and then like all of a sudden she transformed into the Martian Manhunter.
Martha Kent did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Man.
I just remember he said, "We'll still need you," and then some dude who looked like Martian Manhunter transformed into just a regular black dude, and he was like, "We're going to need you, Lois Lane," and then he walks off. And then for me, I was like, "Oh shit, Martian Manhunter's in this movie?"
Yeah.
And then in the back of my mind, I was like, "Wait, was Martian Manhunter in any of the previous movies?" And I was like, "I don't know, but he's here now." So
yeah, that was I had no idea. I don't think I fell asleep during any of it, but
it's a long ass movie.
It is a long ass movie.
Yeah,
but it makes sense that it's long. Like I see that movie and I see how complete it is, and I can't imagine what people paid fucking how expensive are movies these days. I haven't even been to a movie theater in ages.
$12-15.
Yeah, so call it like
go to the theaters.
If you go with a family who likes Justice League, you're probably paying like, I don't know, $30-$40 for a movie, and you see whatever the hell the original cut was. Woof.
Yeah, that's rough. The original was not complete enough, and I think this was not trimmed down enough. But if you guys want to get into what you disliked about it, we could start that discussion now.
All right, my first dislike. I don't like the Flash. I don't like the Flash's powers. They're not good, and I don't like the way he runs. It's like he's swimming in time. I don't like that. That's not how I imagine speed being super speedy to be. Like if you
it only appears that way because they're slowing it down.
No, but even so, okay. What pissed me off the most about Flash's powers was when he got shot by the missile when he was going fucking infinity miles per hour. Like, if you're super fast and time slows down around you while you're running, you should be able to see that fucking big ass laser beam coming at you like 20-30 miles away and not get hit by it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So his powers don't make.
Well, he was straining.
Yeah, but like I don't understand how his powers work. Like, because when I think of super speed, I just think of you. Like, if you're gonna do a jog, like a normal human being, if you do a jog across the street, that's normal time. But if you're the Flash, the world as you perceive it literally stops on a dime, and then you continue to do your jog. And that, to me, is what super speed is. So for the Flash, if he's doing his jog at infinity miles per hour, that should mean everything literally stops. And that laser beam should be coming at him at like one tick for every like hour in Flash time. So there's like no reason.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What you're describing isn't like super speed, right? Because like super speed is like Quicksilver, exactly as you were describing before, where like when he moves, everything is slowed down around him perception wise, so he can move around faster. And with the Flash, isn't it like he has to willingly activate the Speed Force, which is like its own magical property, which allows him to enter that realm, right?
Oh,
so like
well, then that's kinda lame.
I think he needs to flip that switch. So if he's unaware of something, then he can't flip that switch.
Like there were way too many times in that movie where the Flash like tripped or got hit.
Very uncoordinated.
He shouldn't have. And I'm just like, that. What the hell is the point of being this fast if you're just still getting hit by everything?
And just tripping.
Like,
I swear he just tripped on the step one time. And I got very upset.
when he was running on the side of the wall. and then he tripped on like a little piece of metal that was hanging out. Yeah.
Like I feel like they didn't know how to use the Flash at all in that movie. I mean,
they don't really know how to use any of the DC characters in any of the movies besides like Shazam.
I mean, to be fair, him, turning back time to like save the planet, that was cool, but that was literally the only cool thing he did and that doesn't even make any sense. Your description of the Speed Force doesn't make any sense because when he saves his girlfriend when she crashes into the car, everything slows down. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because he was in the Speed Force.
But wasn't he in the Speed Force when he was going around in the circle in that abandoned area to get to Infinity?
I think it's because he was straining.
when he got hit in the leg.
Yes.
No, he got like hit in the
he got hit in like the midsection or whatever. He got shot by that laser by that dude.
We can write that off as like alien tech, right?
That's bad writing, and you know it.
I'm not denying
it. Advanced, like they know about the Speed Force.
Yeah, there's no like his girlfriend is literally in midair for like half an hour, and he's just like gently caressing him and like giving her a little smooch on the hand and gently laying her down.
Let's talk about that. That was the worst scene in any superhero movie I've ever fucking seen. They want to make it like this dramatic, romantic like gesture, and he just met eyes with this girl like 2 seconds before like a job interview.
Oh, I thought that was his girlfriend.
He goes in. No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It was just some random lady. And then they have the audacity to go in and play some like beautiful fucking Adele-esque music. While he like grabs her, brings her in, like caresses her, like looks her in the eye, just like, wow, you might be my soulmate. In the middle of it all, you have fucking hot dogs flying all around them.
And he grabs a hot dog too.
And he grabs a fucking hot dog. Yeah. Well, it makes sense as the scene goes on. He goes back into the pet shop. But like, it just felt so fucking out of place there. And like, you really want us to take this seriously while there's like fucking wieners flying around both their faces as they're looking at each other.
His powers are
you can't even say they're looking at each other. Like, he's looking at her the whole time.
That's all I'm going to say. Because that scene and the last scene don't jive. And the only way it would make sense is that if he hits the speed of light, he can no longer control his power. Like, that's the only way that makes sense. But also, he broke that woman's glass. He didn't have to do that. Like, he was going so fast, he could have just walked out the door. Like, why did he just break through the window? Everything was already in slow-mo. He didn't have to break... Whatever. I'm done with the Flash. Cyborg, on the other hand, I think he's cool.
Wait, I'm not done with the Flash. I'm not done with the Flash.
Cool. What else do you hate about the Flash? Because that was my biggest gripe, was the fact that his power doesn't make any sense to me in this movie.
I can kind of overlook that stuff if I want to get in a camping mood. So I was able to write that off. Just the way that they handled Flash, like Ezra Miller is not really a good Barry Allen in my eyes. Like, he's supposed to be like witty and shit, and I don't know. He just didn't really have that charisma standalone, right? But in terms of his powers as well, back to your point, Matt, about this being filmed with like the Zack Snyder signature like dark grit filter on the whole movie. Whenever the Flash uses powers, like, my prayers go out to people with epilepsy. Like, my God, there's so much blue light flashing on screen against the darkness of the movie. And like, dude, I fucking play video games, right? Like, my eyes were straining watching this movie. Like, it was painful it's such a contrast. At times. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize the Flash had to generate electricity every time he moves to a spot or not.
That's the first
It's not electricity, it's Speed Force, baby.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's Speed Force. But then it's also electricity, because he talked about it. Because, like, that was the shock that...
it must be electricity. Because
our savior Superman.
Yeah.
No, it's Speed Force energy.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was electricity.
No, it's got to be electricity, because Cyborg can't use the Speed Force energy. He could probably use electricity, though.
Well...
Because they kept saying you need
like
to build up a charge.
It's like the sci-fi thing where it's like it's like energy equivalent.
Oh, okay. So Speed Force equals electricity squared.
Yeah, but if we're gonna like generalize it, then yeah, Speed Force is generally electricity, but it's supposed to be Speed Force. It's its own energy source. It's like an extra dimensional energy source.
Whatever. All I know is I would never watch a Flash movie based on the rules of this movie.
Yeah, the Flash was my least favorite character. Because, like, I feel like he was there for comic relief because all the other characters are dark and edgy, and then he's just, like, dopey and...
Like, did he even fight?
He was pretty lame.
He wasn't in any fight except for Superman. And technically he wasn't fighting. He was just dodging.
He was running. He was running away.
Like, I would feel like if you had super speed, couldn't you, like, punch someone, like, 100 times in, like, a second? That'd be pretty cool.
But I think he did. I don't know. I
don't think he punched anybody. I'm trying to think. Like, other than running around in a circle, which he did a lot, I don't know if he actually fought anybody. I can't remember.
I think he just touched people. And
yeah, he would like touch an item or push somebody, but like I don't think he actually fought.
Yeah, he was there solely for support. He was a support character.
He was comic relief. Because I think of like super smart when I think of Barry Allen, that particular Flash, because he's supposed to be like a detective, or he works for what is he? He's like the CSI analyst. He like analyzed.
Yeah, not medical examiner.
I don't know.
He's CSI.
But like I think of just like the smart character with good charisma, and I feel like they tried to make him have charisma, but it just didn't come across as that.
Yeah, like a very Tobey Maguire-esque portrayal.
What else didn't I like about this movie? That was it.
You
were
getting into Cyborg.
I like Cyborg because I think his powers in this are pretty cool. And apparently
Iron Man.
Yeah, basically. And apparently compared to what was in the original cut, like Cyborg got like no screen time at all. Basically all of the backstory that we got on Cyborg is like brand new information for all of us. But that's terrible. Him, trying to cope with, his dad who's a big nerd and only cares about the GameCube. It's pretty... I'm going to keep calling it a GameCube because like that's all I could really think about when I was looking at those fucking boxes.
I just imagine him looking at Cyborg and going like, Victor, you need to understand, Melee will always be the best Smash. We need to protect this at all costs.
You were telling me you were unlocking Roy when you should have been at your mom's funeral?
Cyborg, he's basically part of the GameCube.
He is. Yeah,
that's
true.
why he's what, a Game Boy or Game Boy DS? Maybe the DS.
Yeah, he was just a Nintendo Dreamcast, essentially.
Yeah, I thought because like I thought his dad would get in the way and be an asshole, but like his dad was like the whole movie really trying to like get to know his son and get back into his life, even though he turned his son into a fucking freakazoid. Yeah, I thought he was cool, and I thought he had cool powers, and he can get like he gets extra arms and lasers and shit. So I thought that was cool. I'll tell you what I didn't like. Well, this is kind of like a nitpick for me, but fucking Wonder Woman's theme is so obnoxious, and it also reminds me of the Danganronpa killing theme that I can't take it seriously at all, because every time she's on screen, it's like, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? What is
called the Amazon, man?
Class trial time, baby.
It's like, wait, someone killed somebody? A dead body's been discovered, baby. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, every time she was on screen, it was like, I was like, oh my God, I guess I know what this part's going to be about.
Her intro to the movie was so awful from like a story standpoint, where they're in the bank and then she like gets a hold of one of the criminals with like the lasso, and while she's interrogating the criminal, she just looks at him straight in the eye and she's just like, boring. And talk about something else.
I thought that was funny, actually. I thought that was funny. It's like, well, we're not really we're not really vigilantes. We don't have a true goal. We're just trying to boring. Give me something.
That wasn't. Dude, he was giving away valuable information about like where their headquarters is and like who's in charge and stuff like that. And she's just like, no, just tell me where I can go kick people in the balls, please.
That was a cool fight. I thought that was a cool fight. I've never
it
seen
was.
It was a cool fight. It was a cool.
I've never seen and apparently that fight, what we got in the Snyder cut, like I think half of that was cut in the real movie.
Like all of it, 90% of it. She just goes in, punches a couple guys. She doesn't do like the cool bracelet bullet.
Oh yeah,
thing,
that shit was cool.
Which
she was like,
also, to my point, like they use way too much slow motion in this movie. Like way too much. If they just played the normal scenes, we probably would have gotten like 20 minutes of our lives back. And every time they play the slow motion scene, like especially with like the Amazons, it's like, oh shit, they could use the Speed Force too.
Now the Amazonian
did
battle.
Zack Snyder do the 300 movies too?
He did. Yeah.
Yes, he did. That's why.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense.
That's why there's so much goddamn slow motion. Big battle scenes, it looks okay.
That battle was good, but I didn't like it because even the horses were CG'd, so it just kind of made everything look awkward when they were doing all that cool shit and then hopping onto a fake horse. It was kind of jarring. But I mean, I can excuse that because it was an older movie, but it was just kind of weird that they would CG horses for these specific scenes and all that. But I guess I don't know. I don't work in the biz, so I guess that's just what you got to do.
Well, if you're gonna like brutally maim a creature, I'd rather have them do it on a CG one than real life.
I mean, you can do that in CG, but like when you're riding a horse and just riding it and it's not dead, like can't you use a real horse for that?
Well, they probably saw Attack on Titan season 3 and were like, oh, they're onto something here. We could save so much money
by killing all the horses with crushed rubble.
Yeah.
But those were all my complaints, at least from the movie. Other than that, rating, I'd give it like a 7.
I really didn't like Batman.
Ben Affleck's a terrible Batman. People say that he's like displayed how he is a good Batman, but a terrible Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck is just a terrible Batman Bruce Wayne altogether.
It's really funny when he's like talking in his regular voice, and then as soon as the mask comes on, it's like, we have to go now. It's like super deep voice for no reason. It's like, oh, okay. Okay, Batman.
Just like, I like the Alfred. He's dope. But just like his whole trying to make the whole Justice League and just like going and visiting them all, I wasn't interested in it. I was more interested in the fight scenes.
Honestly, you know what? When I was watching that movie, Batman is the Hawkeye of the DC universe, or maybe even what's her face, Widow,
Black
Widow, because like he's just a regular dude, so he can really only do regular dude stuff, and so they can't really put a lot of camera time on him. So he'll have to like grab a gun here or use a spider mech here or something like that. Otherwise, he's just kind of there.
Ooh. Well, the biggest thing I hated was when he said, "I'm doing it with faith, Alfred," and I was like, that is not Batman. Batman is like 1,000 steps ahead of you, and like he only does something because he knows it's gonna work, because like that's his power. The fact that he's like this amazing detective, and when Ben Affleck is just like, "It's faith, Alfred," I'm like, that's not Batman. You're not Batman anymore.
Damn.
You're worthless.
You're trash.
It's like, what? I mean, I get it. Like, you're dealing with intergalactic forces. Like, dude has this really shiny armor. But still, like, that's the whole appeal of Batman to me, is that, like, he's just 1,000 steps ahead of the game. Like, apparently Batman there's like a huge argument like Batman's supposed to be the best hero from the DC universe because he's so smart.
He is, and canonically, he's taken down the entire Justice League by himself.
Yeah, and like Ben Affleck was I did not get that from his character.
I'll give it to Ben Affleck that like he could only do so much with what he's given. I do like when Man of Steel was going on and they played Bruce Wayne's perspective on that. I think they did a good job depicting how Batman is the ultimate moral compass and like does whatever he can to like save as many lives as possible. On the flip side of that, when the Wayne Enterprises like the CEO or whatever calls Bruce and is like, hey, do you see what's going on right now? Should we evacuate? And Bruce is like, yes, get everyone out of there. It's just like you see absolute destruction going on and your first thought isn't, okay, everyone, let's get out of the skyscraper right now before we all get killed. Like, come on.
So are they gonna go into that whole dark side and like
what was that? Was that a dream sequence? That's what it felt like.
It was more of a premonition almost.
Which I think it's given to Bruce because of his interaction with Flash from what was that? Batman vs Superman, where Flash came to warn him. So now he's getting like premonitions of the future and like warnings, and they're setting it up to do Flashpoint Paradox. I think they're going to do a live action Flashpoint Paradox. That's what that future is, where they were all.
Also, can we talk about why the fuck that little ass dude is Lex Luthor?
Jesse
Zuckerberg?
Yeah, why the fuck is he Lex
Zuckerberg? Jesse Zuckerberg is correct, though.
How can you even fucking take him seriously as Lex Luthor?
I like the adaptation to where he is like this Weasley little guy now, as opposed to like big, bold, foreboding Lex Luthor. But he was completely useless and annoying in Batman v Superman, and they just made him seem like a fucking tech nerd.
Exactly.
And they had who was that? I keep saying Slade because I'm thinking of it like
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
I keep saying Slade, but like their outfits are kind of similar. Deathstroke. Like Deathstroke is bad there, but then in the premonition he's good because they're all hanging out. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, even the Joker stuff too. That was pretty cool.
Honestly, a lot of people gave Jared Leto a lot of shit
happen, though?
For Joker, and I didn't really mind. But maybe that's just me.
It was because it's just like the extreme edge that DC has to push, where you have Joker talking to Batman about a reach around.
I know, that was like, damn.
I did like Jared Leto in that movie though. Like it wasn't like the whole like, you need me, bats, we are one in the same. It was more just like, it was him being Joker and challenging his moral compass. Like, are you really ready to do what it takes to do this? And yeah, even though didn't he say that, like, I'm gonna kill you slowly or something like that? Bruce said that,
something like that, yeah.
Which is like not fucking Batman at all. But
yeah,
I was about to say,
like, come on.
When does Batman ever say he's gonna kill somebody?
Yeah,
never. And he killed a bunch of people. Well, I guess they're aliens.
Yeah, aliens don't have rights.
That was why like murdered. I was like, okay, big asterisk. Like, as long as they're humanoids from Earth, it's okay. But the second you're intelligent life off of this planet, your ass is grass.
Yeah, that's why Superman had to die.
Running them over. Oh my god, he brutally murdered thousands of aliens.
Yeah,
not my Batman.
Yep, there it is.
Well, I can get into my list now. Beginning in the movie, as we go on, we're introduced to Aquaman, right? And what his place is in the story before the whole this happened all before the Aquaman movie, so he doesn't have any ties to Atlantis really, right? He's just living in that Norwegian village.
Okay, that explains a lot, because I didn't know what the timing was. I thought this was after the Aquaman movie. So that actually explains a lot. Because I was very confused.
Because Aquaman came out after.
I was very confused. Like, I thought maybe at the end of Aquaman something had happened, and that's why he was pissed off at Green Goblin about his birthright of being an Atlantean. But that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. So, like, from a character perspective, Aquaman is helping this village out in Norway, right? How is he helping them? He's bringing fish to feed the villagers.
And probably banging those singer women.
But why would Aquaman be giving away the creatures of the sea that he cooperates and protects to feed them to a human village?
I'd like to think that Aquaman is like going out to the sea is like, all right, Jimmy the trout, you've had a good life, but come on, man.
Yeah,
he's drunk, Rob. That's why.
How does I have something to say about that too. But like, how does that even work? He just goes into the sea, and does he ask the fish like, okay, everyone get into this net? Or do you think he like goes and asks them like, hey everyone, I need some volunteers as tribute to help out the humans. Is there any brave volunteers?
Bring me your tired masses. I'm here. I'm here to deliver you. Freddy the fish comes out and is like, I'm ready, Aquaman. Take me.
I volunteer, Aquaman. I've had a great life.
So that didn't make sense to me. And then they had that whole like fucking like villager singing send off, which was completely unnecessary.
That didn't make any sense to me.
2 minutes of that to like fucking so send him off, right? And then at the very end of that, you have fucking Aquaman grabbing, or no, this was the next scene with Aquaman, but he's coming out of the bar, saves that fisherman from the fucking storm, whatever, and is like, okay, drinks on him, gets the bottle of Makers or whatever, goes out onto the dock, and just smashes the bottle into the ground for the ocean to pick up. Like, aren't you supposed to fucking, like, you are the defender of the sea, and you're out here littering into your own people's home? Really?
No, he wants his fish friends to get a little litty with them. I mean, I don't know what the blood alcohol content ratio is for fish. Probably not that high because they're very small. So you got to give them, a little bit of alcohol.
That's fine. I understand that. What I don't get is why he thinks he could just go and throw a bunch of broken shards of glass in the ocean. I mean, they'll eventually be ground down to sand, but like, it just seemed very out of character. But that's all I have to say about Aquaman. Going on into Cyborg. My God, that origin story is fucking doo-doo. Like, he gets in the car accident, and the car accident didn't even look that bad. Like,
he was missing limbs.
Bro, you really had to tear apart half his body for like a severe fender bender?
Okay, now that you mention that,
gone.
That is kind of an egregious injury for that kind of T-bone. Like, maybe you get cut up, maybe you get some paralysis, but losing getting cut in half, I don't know about all that.
Bro, the Eric Andre car crash was way worse than the one that he got into.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then, they repair him, and then they make a whole thing out of like him getting that tape from his dad. And the way his powers are presented is just like, it's just so fucking, it's butthole cringingly bad. Like, I have a quote here, and it's his dad telling him like, son, it's just the tip of the iceberg with your increased strength and robotic capabilities. You are able to go into any bank and take as much money as you want. You have the power to set off all nuclear warheads at the push of a button. Keep in mind, we're talking about like a 21-year-old at max. And this is the first time he's being introduced to how his powers are working. Why the fuck would you tell him that you have the ability to set off nuclear warheads as a power and steal from like the banks of countries?
Well, no, that makes sense because his dad wants to be upfront and honest with him because he's been out of his life the whole time. That makes sense. His dad is trying to do everything he can to be as open and forthcoming to his son so that his son can accept him back into his life.
Sure. But why would you frame it in the sense of making your superpower sound like a world-altering, manipulative hacking ability? Like,
that sounds pretty cool.
There's different ways you can put it as opposed to, yeah, dude, you can like fucking pickpocket anyone you want and you can blow them up.
Bro, if I had the power to take all the money in all the electronic accounts that I could, you don't think I'd be running that immediately the first day? just check, please. 3 million yen.
Exactly, but it was framed as like the whole like with great power comes great responsibility. By the way, you can destroy everything. But you know, like, don't do it, but you can. But don't do it, okay? But you can.
But you can.
It was such like a ham-fisted approach to introducing into the story. And then after that, I really only have a couple nitpicks here and there. There's like one Asian actor in the whole movie, the doctor, and of course they have to give. That's not my problem. Like, okay, if you're not gonna have Asian actors, that's okay. But to have the only Asian actor in the middle of America have an Asian accent to depict how Asian he is, bro, what the fuck is that? Like, come on. It is so fucking bad. Like,
bro, it was a different time 2 years ago.
And he was like uncharacteristically just like happy he was just like
Bad
things were happening, like aliens just attacked the fucking place, but he's just smiling the whole time. Like there was never
he had
a
a very
point of
positive
concern.
personality. I will give you that.
Every scientist in that Millennium Park laboratory was so fucking bad. Especially Victor's dad. He could not act for the life of him. He was in the middle of like setting the GPS on the last mommy box, and what he like looks at Victor and doesn't. No, he was talking to what's Steppenwolf, and Steppenwolf's like, "You will give me that box now," and he says something along the lines of like, "No, you will not have this," and it's just like, really, that's the best acting you can give us. It's like gone. It was like he was reading from a fucking teleprompter the whole time. It was so bad, dude. Like,
that he couldn't read. It was too far away.
Yeah, dude. No. Like this is the Snyder cut. I mean, are you serious right now?
That part could have been cut.
Oh, and then just the vernacular, like the vocabulary was so unimaginative. Like mother box. Really? You don't even need to make up like your own alien language, like from Marvel, like Tesseract. That's a cool fucking sounding word and still
cool fucking sounding
like fits the story. Fucking mother box, dude. Like you're gonna have people dying for this thing and like screaming like, "Oh, save the mother box! We need to save the mother box." Listen, Darkseid, we're still acquiring the last 2 mother boxes. We have one now. We have 1 mother box. We still need mother box 2 and mother box 3.
All I know is that GameCube sounds a lot better.
Fucking tiring. Yeah, and then like along with that, like you unveil the subplot that like Earth has the mystical. I'm not paraphrasing this at all. The anti-life equation.
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck is that? What is that? What the fuck is the anti-life? What does that mean?
I think it's to like control all living beings or maybe destroy them all, or it's immortality. something or another like that. Just some big bad MacGuffin, like big villain MacGuffin they're looking for, whatever. Mm-hmm. But anti-life equation, what the fuck is this? Like,
it's their Infinity Stones.
I actually heard about it in my calculus class when I was in college. The anti-life equation. It's a couple of fractions and some
fractions divided.
Dude, anti-life equation sounds like something a third grader comes up with like a comic they're writing with.
There's a lot of polynomials involved. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's a real equation. Like, relax.
It's just like every time they bring up something like an item or something of lore in that, I just like roll my eyes so hard that you can hear them. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
I gave my rating. I think it was like a 7 out of 10. That was good. Matt and Rob, what would you give the uncut?
I'll agree with the 7 because like I did like the fight scenes and like the story to an extent. Like it made me want to watch what else is gonna happen. So I'll give it a 7, closer to a 6.
All in all, it's like a 6 for me. I mean, my only nitpicks are that the writers they have for this like don't know DC heroes at all. Mm-mm. And the way that they improved a lot in the Snyder Cut with how they interacted. Like I feel like that's the most important part if you're gonna have a like superhero conglomerate movie. It's how they're gonna work together, how they interact, like line exchange and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't too quippy, but yeah, it was still enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. But they could have omitted like an entire hour out of that movie and still made it work. Yeah. Like there is a lot of fucking fluff in it. I think it was like the first 20 minutes you don't get anything from the superheroes. It's like the Amazon storyline, which was a little elongated, and then what else? That the Norwegian fishing village scene, like it was a very cold start to the movie.
Yeah, the start was pretty slow. And
then I mean it got slow around the middle again. Like I didn't really feel the stakes after they encountered Steppenwolf as like the preliminary Justice League at first when they're in the sewers. It was a somewhat enjoyable watch.
Mm-hmm. Because I didn't watch it in one sitting.
Me neither.
It took me a couple. Because like the beginning was so slow, but once I got into it and like the Justice League was formed, yeah, I was able to finish.
The ending was like a lot more entertaining than the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think that concludes Cine Matthew. Which Justice League character are you guys before we move on?
I've never been a big DC guy, honestly. I like the Flash. Not this version of the Flash, but I like the Flash in general. I think super speed is a very cool power.
From the skill sets we've seen from their movie. You don't have to take on their personality.
From this movie? All right, then Cyborg.
Yeah.
Then Cyborg. I mean, it's between Cyborg or Wonder Woman, honestly. I've just never liked Superman, and I've never really liked Batman. I think Superman is too OP to be interesting, and I think Batman is not OP enough to be interesting, which is a weird dichotomy there.
Rob?
Probably Aquaman, because it's my dream to be able to go out in the middle of the ocean and not have the fear of dying from drowning within the first 20 seconds.
True. And then,
but I would never betray my fish comrades by selling them out to some fucking scummy little village in Norway.
Not even for beautiful singing women, Rob?
No, they're gonna have to find other ways. I don't even want to hear their song. Never mind, not at
all. For me, I would be Lois Lane, and with that, let's move on to Chapter Black.
All right, Chapter Black. More spoiler warnings. Just because there's just no way we can talk about this stuff. We've talked about JJK before. It's fucking fantastic, but we're gonna go
and I'm caught up now. So I know
nice.
You finished?
Oh yeah, I've been finished.
Well, it only came out like a week ago, so your horse isn't as high as you think it is, Braxton.
Well, I mean, considering I didn't watch a single episode the last time you guys talked about it, and now I'm caught up. All I have to say about Jujutsu Kaisen is that every great anime has one of these three things. 1, a time skip. B, a tournament arc. Or 3, a baseball episode. Case closed.
Yes. Before we get into it, what are your top 3 baseball animes? Or not baseball animes. What are your top 3 animes, baseball episodes?
Well, I guess the only ones I've seen would be Samurai Champloo, Jujutsu Kaisen, and then the Boondocks kickball episode.
The Boondocks?
The kickball episode, yeah.
We're gonna classify Boondocks as an anime?
Well, I don't know any other baseball episodes in anime that I watched, so I have no choice.
What about Hey Arnold?
Yeah, you mean every episode of Hey Arnold?
They're always playing baseball in Hey Arnold.
If we're counting Western anime, then yeah, every episode of Hey Arnold.
I swear, Dragon Ball Z had a baseball arc.
Oh,
not arc, baseball episode.
It was very quick, but Yamcha when he was playing pros.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yamcha was a baseball player.
No, but then like they
Gohan
all played
in high
too.
school. No, they didn't.
Yeah, because like Yamcha's like finally like this is my chance to shine.
Yeah, that's
like,
yeah.
I think he like he like tries to pitch against Vegeta because he's like fuck you Vegeta, you took my girl. And then Vegeta just blasted like off the earth.
Yeah, Dragon Ball did have a baseball episode. Yep, good.
They had a couple. Yeah.
But like once we get back to it, I do like that they didn't have a tournament arc for Jujutsu Kaisen, and instead they threw in the baseball arc instead.
It wasn't really an arc.
Yeah,
it was literally just an episode.
They threw in like the idea.
Yeah, not an arc.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, we're gonna get into spoilers now. You can find the timestamp at the bottom for when it ends. So the whole Jujutsu Kaisen tournament arc was genius, right? Like the whole series has kind of just been like, okay, you guys like shonen anime? Fuck you. We're gonna subvert all your expectations on shonen anime.
Yes.
And they like get into the tournament arc for a couple episodes just so you can get introduced to like the other school. Is it it's the Tokyo branch, right? Or the Kyoto branch?
Or Kyoto branch.
And they get those out of the way. But then they're like, oh, tournament over. We're going through a terrorist crisis right now. And then they end it all back up with like the draw the hat shit, and Gojo's just like, well, looks like we're playing baseball. It was so amazing.
I love that he's like, wait, one-on-one battles was in here. I swear one-on-one battle was in here.
I swear we had a tournament arc in here. It was in the box. I put it in there.
Yeah, exactly. But I just love like the whole concept of just like how their powers work and like how there's different variations. Like a lot of parallels to Naruto in like how there's like some people are more strong, like what's his name? Todoroki's like taijutsu master. And then but like there's like a lot of good parallels to it. But also I love just like the animation and just like the idea of these like curse energies becoming sentient. So like everyone's kind of trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Mappa's working their ass off all of last year. I said Mappa or however you pronounce it is just working their ass off.
Yeah. They're killing
Slaving away at a hot digital studio.
They are killing it.
Yeah, the last couple episodes of the season, it felt like they were taking a couple steps back with doing like a villain of the week kind of thing with another case mystery. But then it ending up being as a way for them to like grow from it, I thought it was very well done. Especially with Megami. Because this whole time you have him like calm, cool, collected, and then they were just like, but what if he was crazy? And I was just like, yes, give me more. Insane Megami is like my new favorite character. It's so good. And then at the finale, when they really made it seem like they were gonna have another villain get away and like recuperate and maybe join like the League of Baddie Demons in there, I was kind of disappointed. I was just like, oh man, they're really gonna do it again on like the finale. And then they pan the camera over and what's his name? Itadori. You just see him running full pace with a car. And he's like, "You're not getting away, bitch." It was so good. All that was awesome. And I genuinely like the dynamic between the three of them. It feels like they're really coming together like organically to become like a good friend group.
Yeah, it's Yuji, and, it's Megami, and I always forget the lady's name.
Bougie Sakura.
No, that's Yuji. I can't remember her name because it's too many fucking syllables. There's a lot of names to remember in this show, and it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
because they're very Japanese names.
Kugisaki.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. She's badass.
Yo, her powers are so dope.
Yeah, that last battle was awesome.
That last battle was ridiculous.
It wasn't just like, okay, who can hit harder? They actually went into like the demon power mechanics, and I know that those demons were only introduced like in the last 3 episodes, but at the end of it, you really could like empathize a little bit with them, where they're like, yeah. we're all one, like we're brothers, right? And it was kind of heartbreaking when the little brother died, and he did everything he could to like save him. He's like, I can't kill them unless I deactivate the powers, and he didn't even willingly do it. He just like did it out of reflex.
Yeah, instinct. That was cool. I really liked how the battle was, like you said, it wasn't like who's stronger, but it was like a chess match basically, because they both had different things going on with the powers, like how the blood was able to like kind of, what was the blood again? It was a toxin, but then it was decaying their body at the same time.
It was basically like an increased deterioration, like possession spell or something like that.
But then Kugisaki has her like voodoo doll power too, and then she was just like going ham on herself. I'm just like, holy shit, this girl is so badass. I'm so glad she's not like Sakura, just completely worthless.
Yeah. The whole time the demon's just like, oh, okay, it's incredibly painful, but it won't deactivate my power. There's no way that she could keep doing it. She hits another nail in her arm.
I love how insane she looks too. Like when she's about to do it, she's like, fuck you, we're both gonna die. I was like, this girl is fucking insane. Like it makes more sense when she beats up the characters than like when Sakura would beat up Naruto. Because this girl is fucking insane for real, and not just crazy in love with somebody.
I think my favorite part of this show, like, what was surprising to me is how funny it is. Like, there's a lot of humor in it that I wasn't really expecting from a show like this. Like, I think one of the funniest episodes was like when he was learning, when Gojo was teaching Yuji about how to use curse energy or how to control it, and he was like, yeah, for the most part, curse energy, like, you're kind of born with it. So basically 95% of your power is already innate. And then, like, he turns into, like, a little, like, flat Stanley on the ground. And he's like, oh, this is terrible. I wanted to do a Kamehameha or a Rasengan or a Dodonpa. Or he's, like, naming all these other attacks from, like, all these other shows. And he's, like, a little chibi-ass paper flat doll on the ground, like, crying about it. And I was dying because, like, this makes no sense. And, like, it's even funnier because, like, he's still this little chibi-ass dude crying about it, and then Gojo tells him something encouraging, and then the animation immediately cuts, and he's like a normal human again, but he's still lying on the floor, and I'm just like, I'm dying the whole time. It's so funny. There's so many references in that show, it's like crazy. I think there's like a poster of like a Haikyuu character at the movie theater, like people were pointing out as well, which is really funny. And like I think they mentioned like the nine-tailed fox, which is like a common, you know, Japanese spiritual thing. And I think they mentioned Toilet Bound Hanako-san, which is also an anime. I don't know if it's a Japanese story or not, but it's just really funny, like all the references and shit that they throw out there. And like at the end of every episode, they have like the gag thing, the gag little scene that they have for all the characters. So that's pretty cool.
I really love how the characters interact with each other. My favorite relationship in this show is obviously Itadori and Todo. Their relationship, and how like he's fighting him, but at the same time he's training him. He's like, "Wow, you're so strong."
Why did they pick Jennifer Lawrence of all people? Like, why?
I have no idea.
Like,
but that's like their bond.
Like, sure, that's not a bad choice, but like, if I'm thinking of the first woman I can think of that's tall with a big ass, Jennifer Lawrence is not the first person that comes to my mind. I didn't even know Jennifer Lawrence was tall. Like, that's news to me.
Neither.
Tall in Japan.
Yeah, true. It might be tall in Japan, but.
And I guess the thickness scale is probably different in Japan than here.
Why don't you do some research and get back to us on that?
I will. Next episode. The thickness scale. Japan's thickness scale. But I love Todo. I think he's so funny.
I'm so sad that it's over, but...
I know.
No, that's it. I'm sad that it's over. I can't wait for more. I literally can't wait. I'm dying over here.
But what are your guys' thoughts? Like, I think that Satoru's kind of shady in a way. Especially like that whole ending sequence where... Well, I didn't really understand that. Was there like a bet from before when he sent a bunch of money over to the other girl? Do you guys remember that scene?
Okay, I don't remember who that other girl is. Who was she?
She's like a counselor for the other.
Yeah, isn't she the girl with the scratch on her face?
Well, she was wearing like traditional Japanese garb when they were having the tournament arc, right?
Yeah, I think that's like their school uniform or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot
so
what that
really
was all about.
Because he sent like a bunch of money too.
It's like 10 million yen or some shit.
Yeah. So I think there's still like a lot of questions. So I feel like this has potential to go on for a couple seasons without like dying down.
The manga's about to end, I think.
Oh, sick. That means it's going to be a short anime. Nice.
Yeah, that also is, I'm not mad about either. But I will be mad when it's over.
Yeah, definitely. It's I don't know. It's really captured me emotionally more than like any other anime has in recent time. Like God of High School is pretty cool, but I really like that just from the action standpoint. The characters, they're pretty good, but they're nowhere near as good as they are in JJK. And then like, you know, everyone gushes over Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer is cool too, but like again, it's just the same old like shonen protagonist that they've been displaying with every series, where it's like, oh, he has such like a poor upbringing, and you know, he's just this like quiet, calm person, and as you watch them grow, as they slowly like gain confidence, and it's like, no, fuck that, let's bring it back to like 90s anime. Like, I want my fucking obnoxious protagonist. I need Yusuke to call everyone an asshole. And Itadori like embraces that kind of energy this whole time. Like, you just got like that big dope jock energy, and is slowly learning to kind of like empathize with this situation. Like, he's always had that in his character, right? Where he's like, I want to save everyone and allow them to die when they want to die, right? I guess it's not too different in that regard, where like he's still a caring character, but it's not like he has a pushover persona either.
Oh yeah, no way. I love how like, cause like obviously he's very dopey, but then he's like super philosophical. Cause like even talking with Kugasaki at the end, she's like how do you feel after like I know you've exorcised a bunch of cursed spirits, but then like this is your first time killing a human. Cause like he killed a human before who had been transformed. So I like that aspect of it. And I just like how there's just like a lot of growth in the characters already after just like 23 episodes. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
The concept of domains is pretty cool. And I understand everyone's powers completely, except for Gojo's. I don't understand his power.
The infinity
Gojo's
domain.
power is just infinity.
Yeah, I don't understand his power. Like I understood like when he fought that volcano dude, like that part I understood. But then when it got to him doing the red and blue purple shit against the wood girl, I don't understand what that is. It doesn't make sense.
I think it's just big beams, big beams.
Okay. My mind can accept that.
Like, I think that was only like a glimpse of his like true potential. That was just him just like big dick flexing on everyone. Like, yeah, I don't need to do my like true powers right now. I'm just going to send out these big beams.
And I just love that Itadori's a ticking time bomb. Like that scene was one of the funniest things ever. He's like, whatever you do, don't eat it. It's like, don't eat this finger. And then Sukuna's just like, oops. Oh, the humor in the show is awesome. Because like as much as the action is great, like I love that I can just like legitimately laugh at certain scenes in that.
Definitely. On that same note, I started reading Chainsaw Man because it's going to get the anime adaptation sometime in the near future, and I just couldn't wait anymore because I've been bringing it up to you guys like ever since it was published in Shonen Jump, and my God, I usually like read manga to like before bed, kind of like bring me down and get me a little tired, and I finally caught up on Dr. Stone, and without fail, like that always put me to bed within like the first 30 minutes. And it's good. It's good. It's very text heavy, but it's still good. But when I caught up to that and the point where it's at right now, holy shit, like Dr. Stone, fucking awesome. But I'm waiting for that next chapter. So I picked up Chainsaw Man finally, and I couldn't go to bed for the next 3 hours reading like the first 30 chapters. It's so fucking wild. Like,
well,
when everyone says it's dark, yeah, it's pretty fucking dark. And the way that they illustrate everything is just like so like creepy, and it's awesome. And you can't really describe it. Like the line work on everything, there's like different powers known as like devil powers, and one of them is like a zombie devil. So like he could possess people and like turn them into zombies and shit. And the zombies that they show in this are just so like flesh meltingly creepy. It's great. But more than that, like the character writing in it is so fucking good. Like the main character Denji is just this like kid who lost his father and owes the Yakuza like this mountain of debt. So he's like killing all these devils that exist in the world to make money and pay back the debt, and it's just like not enough because of all of like the finder's fees and stuff that the Yakuza put on him to basically keep him in servitude the whole time. But then like things happen, he loses something, he loses everything, and then eventually like makes his comeback, and that rise from where he was at is awesome because like he doesn't have exorbitant goals. His only goal is to have like a comfortable life because he has been homeless his entire life essentially, without any family or friends or anything like that. And like right now he keeps meeting these goals and like setting new ones, but the goals that he sets for himself are like, oh man, I just want to be able to like eat a 7-Eleven hot dog with ketchup. That'd be so great. And like he gets a new job and he fucking gets to do that, and he's like, man, like I can't imagine life getting any better than this. And then he's finally introduced to like some girls in the organization of like devil hunters he works with, and his new goal is like, okay, I've always wanted to touch boobs. And he slowly makes his way into like doing all that and like getting a normal life, and it's awesome. Compounded with like the craziness that the fights bring with like the devil powers and how they work and stuff like that. Like it's so cool. And then the bad guy in that it's just writing on another level. Like I am genuinely afraid for the main characters to meet up with like the big bad because of how impossibly powerful he is. It's like how they depicted Sephiroth in the original Final Fantasy VII, where like you don't see him at all. You just know what he's done and like killed all these people, so you can't even like grasp how he's doing it and who he is and stuff like that. So the first part, I think, is what they're calling it. Like it's coming out in parts. The first part's concluded, so I'm swiftly getting done with that. But I highly recommend reading it. Like I know you guys aren't really into manga too much, but once you pick this up, I promise you won't be able to put it down. And like reading it now won't spoil the anime later, because a lot of the like there's a lot of fights, so it's all going to be like new animations and stuff, and not really taking away from the story at all. Yeah.
Oh, Mappa!
Fucking awesome.
Get back to the animating boards, baby. We need that fucking next season of Chainsaw Man.
This is gonna be so good. Just have a couple quick words on Slam Dunk. Got done with Haikyuu, started it, and I was just itching for a sports anime to watch, and yeah, it has not aged well. It's very like early 90s-esque. The theme song is fucking awesome. Like it's that like very upbeat J-pop with a little bit of edge on it. It reminds me a lot of like Smile Bomb.
Holy fuck.
But yeah, like the main character in this, you know how a lot of sports animes are like, yeah, I've dedicated my life to like the love of this sport, and like I wouldn't give anything up for it. Well, the main character of Slam Dunk is like, damn, all the girls love basketball players. I'm going to start playing basketball. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, this is like new. But then as the story goes on, like the man has no respect for basketball. Like he's a freak athlete, so he could just like dunk and shit. So whenever he goes to try out for the team or practices, he's just like, fuck your rules. I'm going to dunk this basketball and travel the entire length of the court. And he doesn't like, I'm in the first season. I don't know if I'll continue much more of it, but like the whole time it's just tiring. Like he doesn't want to listen to anyone. Everyone's like, dude, you got to dribble the ball if you're going to play the game.
Oh my
And he's
God.
like, fuck that. I'm just going to dunk all the time. And then like, one time he actually does do it legally because he's like, okay, how can I dunk? All right, I'm going to throw this shit off the backboard. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Never fucking does it again. But yeah, like, he's just so cringeworthy. Like, every time they meet up with an opponent, he's like, hey, I'm Kurosaki. And you know what? Who's your best player? Oh, Jim and Jeff? Hey, Jim and Jeff, I'm going to beat your ass. And he doesn't. Because everyone else knows how to fucking play basketball. And he's just like, man, I don't need any sissy layups. I'm just going to dunk the ball. And then he finally learns to like lay it up. He's like, oh, you know, this is kind of useful. Like, I think I'm going to start using layups now.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's just more of that. It's just like, all right, well, this is stupid. Why do I got to do it? And then he like starts getting down to the nitty gritty of learning it. And he's like, oh, you know what? Okay, I guess I'll start doing that too. But the worst part of it all is like, he only learns these things to impress the girl. So his only motivation is to like impress this girl who's like super into basketball. And it's kind of lame. But it's no buts. Like, animation is not that great. I think I might just keep watching it. I don't know. I feel like I need to see how this ends. Yeah. Kind of like Redo of Healer. Just finished episode 6 today. My God, that is such a weird show. I can't stop watching it.
Nice. Hey, the season's over.
Damn. So do I gotta watch this show or do I not?
It's up to you, my
Should I
guy.
just not stop while I'm ahead?
Honestly, like, the plot points
are not bad.
Kind of keeps... Yeah, like, he has a plan, and his plan is to just coerce everyone that's wronged him and get him on his side, and he's slowly doing it to eventually, like, find a way to overtake the kingdom. And that part of it's kind of cool. In between all that, there's a lot of forced, unnecessary sex. And not forced in terms of, like, rape, but there is.
I mean, there is.
Forced in, like, the harem of girls that he's meeting will just be like, hey, I need to give you some of my thanks. Rip shirt off.
Oh, my God.
That's all I gotta say about that. But, let's finally fucking talk about Attack on Titan. Spoiler link in the description. Like,
how many fucking spoiler shits are we doing? Fuck.
How are you gonna talk about this without any spoilers?
Well, no, I'm not upset about that. I'm just more upset about the fact that I actually have to like pay attention to when all this shit is doing it, so I know what the timestamps are.
I mark it. I mark it in the spreadsheet whenever there's spoilers.
Oh, that's right. We've been doing that now. Still, whatever.
Yeah. Don't get out of it. It's something I do anyways. All right, Attack on Titan, the final season. We've been waiting till the end to talk about it. Didn't think it was going to be like a part 1 thing, but here we are.
Yeah, neither did I, but whatever.
What is going through your guys' head?
When did Eren become so edgy?
Yeah,
end of season 3.
No. When did Eren become so jacked? You see that shirtless man?
Yeah.
He's got 8-pack.
Jesus. He is a punk now.
All the Titans are just getting fucking ripped, dude.
Except for Armin.
Yeah, he's just
Armin.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Okay, remember when we were talking about season 3, the first part, when it was like all politics, and I said that was kind of mad boring, and I hated it. That
was season 2, but yes.
Oh, season 2. I actually like the politics in this season a lot, because like it adds color to the fact that like they've literally been on an island away from like technology and like cultural advancement and all that, and the fact that like all these other tribes are now like actually at the island and like introducing them to like what's actually current and state of the art is pretty cool. But then all the coup shit happened, which is actually kind of nutty. It's like, goddamn, like I didn't realize like it would get to this point where like everyone's just kind of like, I don't know who the good guys are anymore, and I don't know who the bad guys are anymore. And
it's a very simple answer, Braxton.
Yes.
The bad guy is Gabby. The good guys is everyone else.
Oh my gosh.
No, I thought
I liked her.
I thought you were gonna say the good. I thought you were gonna say the bad guy was that girl with the bowl cut. Because she seems to be
Yelena?
the one.
That's a guy,
she seems.
I think.
No, it's a girl.
I thought it was a girl.
They refer to him as a guy.
No, I thought that she was a woman, but she wore that beard as a disguise when they were on Marley.
Yeah, no, even after the beard, I'm pretty sure Yelena's a guy.
Well, I'm about to Google it, so...
Okay, never mind. The wiki says that she's a she. But
yeah,
you know what? I might be confused because they refer to her as Sir.
Yeah, Yelena is a very tall woman with her blonde hair styled in a short bob with straight bangs.
Big booty, Toto's type. Okay, moving on.
Also, hey, the dude with the red hair, who is that guy? I forgot who that was. I don't remember who he was.
I did too, but he was, I think he was introduced in season 3, and he was part of the Rose Guard, and then the Scouts, he switched over to the Scouts.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at older pictures of him. He just has a stupid bowl cut now in this season, which is why I didn't recognize him. But he looks kind of recognizable in the old season. Oh, he was the... Oh, that's who he was. He was the last remaining survivor when the Beast Titan attacked their storm.
Yeah. Oh.
I was like, I didn't remember who that guy was, but yeah, he was the last. No wonder he's so adamant about this, because he literally watched his whole platoon die except for like 6 people.
Himself.
And him, yeah. because he was like crying.
Yeah. He was having an existential crisis, right? Where he was like, why was I the only one to survive? Like, my life is meaningless, but I don't want to die.
Yeah, I was like, who the hell is this dude with the fruity hair? But then I just Googled it and I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is, now I understand his motivation. Rest in peace, Sasha. I guess that's all we gotta say. Also, rest in peace, everyone who was an anime only watcher and got spoiled because Twitter made it trending. That was pretty cool for all those people.
Not only that, fucking Crunchyroll tweeted about it.
Damn.
Yeah. The day the episode came out.
Damn. See, that's why you gotta be careful out there. It's a lawless jungle. People are just out here. I'm surprisingly not been spoiled on anything substantial after I used my mute feature on Twitter. It's been very useful. Jesus Christ, I feel bad for all those other people because like it was literally like Sasha has died. Twitter update, top of the list. It was like, God damn, Twitter, you really doing this?
Meanwhile, like everyone else in the world is just like, who the fuck is Sasha?
Yeah, they're like, what the heck?
Oh, yeah, but I'm liking the intercomplications of. You know what I don't like is that Aaron was very, very mean to Mikasa, and that's no.
Dude, that was so brutal.
That sucks. I hate that.
Brutal.
I love that scene so much. That scene and the Marley and Chef dude when he finds out Gabby killed Sasha. That is where anime like just excels because reading it, it was pretty strong. But the actors they got for the voice acting of that, it was like gut-wrenching how much you can feel like the loss and despair.
In Niccolo, yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Attack on Titan, as usual, like they are the best at visibly showing like the loss of hope in people's faces when like, the lines come out and stuff, and they're just like, oh my god, we're not getting out of it. Like, there's no good world out of this. Everything is shit. It's so good.
What I think what I like a lot is the progression of, like, I remember season 1, like when a Titan showed up, everyone shit their fucking pants. But like now that we're in the final season, it's like Titans don't exist anymore because they literally manufactured the art of killing Titans as efficiently as possible. So there's just like any other thing. And I like the fact that Levi can literally 1v1 Zeke any day of the week that he wants and can still beat him like with literally no effort.
Problem.
It's really hilarious. It's just like
until he doesn't.
Well, yeah, until he doesn't. But like it's just so funny that it's just like Zeke's like, not again, why is this happening again? And he transforms, he's like, why? And he still gets his ass beat. It's like really funny. It just shows how far they've come. Like, and like they would get their asses beat by like any regular like Marley and Titan, and now it's just like, oh, yeah, we know how to deal with you. This is not hard.
That part that gave me goosebumps was when Zeke was like, so Levi, you're back at it again, and you just threw away more comrades just to save your own life and get revenge on me. How does that feel? And Levi was like, we've already had so many comrades die meaninglessly, and continues to try to kill Zeke. I was like, oh my god, this man is cold-blooded.
But, so is Levi in the same sense as Mikasa, kind of just like blindly following a particular cause? Or do you think he has like a little bit more freedom? Or
well, is it the Ackerman blood that makes him do it, or
yeah.
So
I think that's, looking back, hasn't he always kind of like protected Eren in that regard, whether he wanted to or not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did kick
maybe
his ass.
That's how he was. Maybe that's how he was coaxed into giving the Colossal Titan to Armin instead of
Arwen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole like bloodline trait is like, you know what? I think after it's all done, we might have to warrant a rewatch of the series, just to see how that ties in with the entire rest of the. Because I honestly forgot Mikasa had that tattoo on her arm. honestly. I forgot about that whole thing. And I'm pretty sure she showed Eren, like, when she was a little kid, that little tattoo she had.
Yeah.
And now that she revealed it to that lady from the other country, like, that, I feel like I just really need to rewatch the series to remember that. What a great show.
So what are our thoughts on Eren? Do we think that, like, he's actually matured into, like, I guess, more logical in his actions? Because, like, before he would always do stuff based on emotion, but, like, now he's, like, contributing to a cause, but, like, has he matured, or is he
it's his own it's his own cause, though. It's
the
same emotional reaction, just colder and, like, 10 times more emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't understand. Well, okay, I understand the plan, the euthanasia plan. What I don't understand, why was Armin just, like, so happy about it?
I think it's because Eren is his friend, so he's just like, oh, I'm glad that Eren's not, you know, evil, and, like, he's trying to, like, make the world a better place. But I just don't agree with the plan.
Like, if, like, I don't know.
I think there was some stuff lost in translation there. Like, I think he cracked and was like, oh, well, that makes me feel a lot better that this is for, like, a noble cause.
Like, I can't think of, like, a figurehead for, like, a race. But, like, if Obama came out and said, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure black people can't reproduce ever again, I'd be kind of pissed. Yeah. I want kids. But, like, seeing Armin, like, oh, Eren just wants to make sure none of us can procreate ever again. Yeah, he was, like, super happy about it. Like, that was kind of weird. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't.
The prevention of procreation.
Yes.
Is through killing all Eldians.
Well, no, they're not killing them all. They're going to alter their structure through the power of the Founding Titan, so that their bloodline eventually dies off completely, and then there won't be any more fighting for their power.
Mm-hmm. I missed that in the. It's been a while since I've read that part of the manga.
So yeah, the Eldians
so literally
will be free.
So no one fights or anything. You'll just eventually hit maximum population dwindling, and then eventually everyone dies. Natural deaths, of course, but just no more ancestors.
I know I said this at the end of season 3, but even more so now, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, there's no way you're gonna anticipate what happens next. There's no way. Like, it's the second part is gonna be a completely different structure.
That's just crazy to me because everything has flipped. It's like, what was the whole point of the first 3? Not what was the point. It's just like you build this in your mind like, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden it's just like, what the fuck, Eren? What the fuck, man? What happened to your friends? You don't care anymore. And I understand that there's like a grander scheme of things, but I love that they're pushing the different ideologies. Like, you have the Marleyans and the Paradise Devils both have the mindset just like, this is for my comrades. And then you have Zeke and all them just like, we just want world peace. We just want world peace, man. Let's, like, stop using these titans. But then, like, I don't love that there's conflicting ideologies.
Do the Jaegerists know about the euthanasia plan? Because I know
I think so.
I know Yelena knows, but I don't know if the rest of them know. I thought the rest of them wanted to use Eren to do the rumbling.
I think they are just, like, really extremists for Eren and will do anything for Eren. But I don't think they know the plan. I think that's
no. They know the euthanasia plan because, like, the Jaeger's guards are always with Eren now.
True.
And they report back to Yelena too.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So, like, no one's gonna say anything about Levi dying?
Did he, though?
I know. That's why I didn't say anything. I don't know if he did or not.
Dude, he fucking blew up. Blew up at point blank, and you saw his, like, burning pile of corpse flesh fall to the ground.
No, I thought that was just his robe.
Damn. So I thought that was
Bro, it's an anime, baby. Anything can happen. I didn't think he was dead after that. I just thought he saw the explosion going off, and he probably leaped somewhere, and he's probably very injured. But I didn't think he died.
I saw his body fly off the cart, and they even added it an audible splat when he hit the ground.
I must have not been paying attention for that part, because I didn't think he died. I just thought he was probably very injured.
But, kudos to Zeke for having the resolve to kind of just be like, fuck it. Like, Aaron knows everything that's going down. Trust him pretty much. I'm just going to blow myself up. But then, like, who the fuck was that Titan that just put him in the stomach?
It was just one of his Titans. Yeah,
that's right.
From that he turned into in the forest.
But, like, so he has control of them, even though he's, like, barely conscious? Because he was, like, out of it, essentially.
Yeah. Because it's his power.
But we still don't understand the depths of that spinal fluid.
Yeah, but I think that's, like, the most they're going to get into for now.
Okay. Damn. Like, I always knew that I feel like Levi was going to die. But I just hate that that's how it happened.
Yeah, I don't think
he was like outsmarted instead of going out on his shield. Levi was one of my favorite characters from the show because he's so badass. I love his spinning sword attack where he just like rips through people. I hate
for a guy who's cheated death as many times as he has. I don't think he's dead. That's my reasoning.
Well, we'll find out in
winter.
8 more months.
You know what? I was so disappointed that they announced that because I was like, oh, finally, I can unmute all of these Attack on Titan keywords. Yay. Oh, wait. Psych.
You thought.
Yeah. Silly me.
But I like the setup. I like that the Marlians are invading from the air.
But going back to your point, Braxton, like, they did a really good job since, like, episode 1 into laying the framework to giving you the perspective of, like, is there truly a bad guy in this story? It's up for you to determine. And the Marlians coming from the sky. How the fuck did they do that? They just reverse engineered one of the blimps that they got invaded by sight and was just like, hey.
No.
I think we could do that.
No, the Marlians already had that technology.
Not the hot air balloon, because when they first initiated that attack, they were like, what the fuck is that?
No, they've had literally the first season, they dropped hot air balloons into the fucking whatever Marlia was attacking, that one city, and Zeke yells at all his dive bomb titans from the air. They've already had hot air balloon technology.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a plane. I thought they were limited to only having a plane, though.
Planes are still as advanced as blimp. like Marlians have had
the but like the way they depicted the reactions of the Marlians on the Paradise attack, like I thought that was them not having the ability to understand, like, how are they able to bring this many people by air? Like, this is ridiculous.
I think they were surprised that they even had that technology at all, because they didn't at the time. Okay. And then we find out that all these Marlians were captured anyway and forced to teach them all the tech stuff.
All right, that makes sense.
It's crazy how we all understand how the story's going. Like, it's not convoluted at all. Like, I can clearly put this together and it makes complete sense.
For now.
I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm telling you, man, it's shit's only just hitting the fan.
Great. I can't wait to forget about this season completely, and then when the new season comes out, I have to rewatch the season to remember what the hell I was even watching in the first place.
I'll rewatch this season. I liked it a lot. But Aaron, man, what's going on in that head, man?
Yeah, he turned into a huge asshole.
Yeah, he is a huge asshole. Honestly, everything he's done up to now is justified, but then when he made fun of Mikasa, that was it. That was the last straw. I've had enough.
That was the one part I was referring to where he was an asshole.
Yeah, that's it. That's Malo. Muy Malo.
Is there intention behind it?
No,
is he trying to, like, free Mikasa?
He's a meanie bobini. And I've had
He's
enough.
just a meanie bobini. Or you think he's trying to manipulate her? He's like, if you really want to help me, stop being such a slave.
Well, she doesn't have a choice. If it's part of her blood, she can't. It's not. She can't be manipulated because it's in her genes. That's it. That's her fate.
Do you really want to know, Matt?
No.
No, I don't. I'll wait 8 months. Damn it!
I can't wait. I'm gonna go finish up the manga. It's all completed, like as of last week, anyways.
Damn. How could they do that? How could they do that to us?
I don't know. They should have just. That's what my biggest concern was since we started talking about the new season. Like the manga wasn't done yet, so I thought maybe like the writer would go ahead and like give a heads up to the production studio of how things would go, but apparently not. It's just the same old seasonal problem of them having to catch up and animate and voice act everything as the manga's going.
Hey, when you have a cash cow like this, keep it rolling, baby. Part 3, 2022. Let's get it.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
They're just gonna make a movie.
I don't want to.
For part 3,
Honestly,
it's just gonna be a huge
imagine
movie
it's
to
like a
end it.
cliffhanger at part 2, and it's like, this is the movie. This is the ending, the real ending.
Yeah. Attack on Titan, the movie, the real ending.
It's the highest grossing
Part
fucking
1.
A new trilogy.
This is gonna be the
so
new
bogus.
Kingdom Hearts, like
Oh
Attack
my
on
God,
Titan,
dude.
God.
Part 2.8.
Jesus Christ.
Mikasa's free. Mikasa's freedom.
Wrapped up a really good season, and yeah, the political stuff not as dry this time, because it wasn't like they were talking about like the monarchy and how order goes on, but like what happens if we fucking shake up the government, and not only the government of Paradise, but the world.
Mm-hmm. Anarchy and chaos. I'm down for it.
All right, let's get recommendations from the Neat Boys podcast. My gun's fucked up. I don't know why it sounds like that. I gotta change mine because I just remembered, but you know, they don't even know that. I don't know why I'm saying you can't see the docket, so I'll just tell you what my recommendation is. My recommendation is Eric Andre's interview with IGN, where he brings up a tier chart and ranks all of his pranks from the Eric Andre show and kind of goes into the logistics of how everything's done. I thought it was a really cool video because he genuinely expresses, like, he doesn't get mad. He gets annoyed when people don't think that they're doing everything they can to get real reactions from people in the show, and makes it a point to explain how the show isn't so much about the pranks as it is in getting reactions, and like explaining the process of like editing the episodes, because they only have like that 11 minutes to work with the Adult Swim time they used to have. So sometimes they would fail on like really good prank ideas because they would just get like people looking over and looking confused. But what they really want is like people like running over and screaming like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Why is your butt broken? Why are you beating this cop? Why are you a cop beating yourself in the penis?" You know? And they just go over like his greatest hits with the pranks and stuff, and even touch upon his YouTube Eric Andre clips where he went to the RNC and
Oh, the classics.
there was just no way for him to
my
like fake
God.
that and get like 1,000 hot-blooded conservatives to play in with like the prank. Like there's just no way.
The classic.
And then Matt.
I'm not sure if I wreck this YouTube page. It's a Reanime, and they just make like a bunch of live actions of just like, you know, popular anime scenes. The one that they just released was in Naruto when Asuma was fighting Kakuza and Hidan. Is that how you say his name? Do you guys remember?
What, Kakuzu and Hida?
Yeah. So they did a good job with it. It was a nice, like, you know, nostalgic watch, even though I just finished Naruto like last year, but last year was a very long year, so it was kind of cool to see it in live action form, and I think they did a good job. They do a good job with all their live action renditions, so I would check this out. It's on YouTube, Reanime. Check it.
All right, and Braxton, I think I saw you repost this on Twitter, but please explain.
I did. So the producer Knowledge, who, for people who don't know who he is, he did one of the tracks off of Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly." So he's just a well-known producer, and so Dan Hibiki, one of the characters from Street Fighter V, got released, and it turns out he has an infinite combo that you can do. If you find someone in the corner, you can literally do this combo, and if you do it right, infinitely, you just win the game for free. But it has a specific rhythm to it that you can incorporate. And Knowledge isn't the only person who's done it. I've seen a lot of remixes, but this was just the funniest one that I found. But he basically takes Dan's infinite combo and then makes a beat around it. So that's my recommendation. It's pretty funny. It's not that long, but you kind of get the gist of what the infinite is, what the combo is, and kind of Knowledge's own flair on it. So that's my recommendation.
Is it like I haven't watched the video yet, but because Knowledge he does a lot of work with like soul, music, so it's like along that lines. Yeah,
it's pretty chill. It's not like super complex or anything, but it's just pretty chill.
I love Knowledge.
Yeah, he's good.
Dope. And with that, we have finished our round robin monthly release with episode 36. And if you want more, then you're going to have to do us a favor and go tell your friends and family and people you're tutoring and even those people in your Pilates class where they can find us. And they can find us where, Braxton?
They can find us on the Twitter. They can find us on the Gmail. But more importantly, they can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. Your hopes and dreams, perhaps, maybe in your heart. If you dig down deep in the hearts.
Where can they find us on Gmail?
Oh, that would be...
Is it OnlyFans Simps 420 at Gmail?
No, it's close. It was 420 OnlyFans 69 at gmail.com.
I always confuse my sex numbers.
Yep. The new Neat Boys calendar spread coming soon. So, ladies.
Wait, are you... No, give them the fucking Gmail, Brax.
Oh, well, you cut into my thing, so I figured you would just go on the OnlyFans angle.
We're not prepared to release anything yet.
That'd be NeatBoysPodcast at gmail.com for all your hottest burning questions, inquiries, and nudes.
Yeah, we're still waiting, damn it.
Please.
I mean, we did do Jujutsu Kaisen, but that wasn't an email request. That was just Lewis. That was Lewis's request.
Wait, what was Lewis's request?
Lewis's request was for us to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen, which we did.
We did.
Yeah.
And if this episode was shorter, I would say let's get some fan interaction, but I don't want to keep dragging this out.
I know, damn.
Unless...
This is the longest one in a while.
Not unless. No.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Bidet or Bidon't.
Love ya.
Classy.
Bye.
streets keep calling me. Oh, 3 o'clock, just can't close my eyes.